Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents Seduced by the Spy by Shayla Black. Narrated by Jason Clark.
Chapter 1. St. Augustine, Florida. February 5th, 6 p.m. Vanessa. The sun is about to set. The streets are slick from the shower that doused me as I rushed to my car. My clothes stick to my skin from the low dip of my soft pink shirt all the way to my beige wraparound skirt. What was a more demure than daring slit this morning now clings uncomfortably to my damp thighs. Rush Garrison probably got caught in the rain too. I would have loved to see his crisp black dress shirt plastered to his broad shoulders, hugging the rippling muscles of his torso. Get over it. He doesn't remember you. It's been years. He's head of the hotel's security now, and you're just a fellow employee. Go out with Paul in accounting. He's asked 3 times. I can't bring myself to say yes. With a sigh, I pull my little Fiat into the carport beside my historic cottage, grab my purse, and dash through the deluge up my brick walkway. Under the cover of my porch, I stop to catch my breath and laugh at the crazy sheets of rain still pelting the street. It's been a hell of a day. Brian Russell, my boss, was holed up in a mysterious meeting for hours. The hotel is filling up with out-of-state guests for another balmy weekend, and some creepy guy in the lobby stared at me most of the afternoon. I handled everything, but now, TGIF. I have all blessed weekend off to couch camp with a glass of wine and a pile of super sexy romances on my e-reader. Okay, I have to do laundry too, but other than that, it'll be nothing but fictional hot sex. And fantasizing about Rush Garrison. A lot. As I scramble for my house key, the rain suddenly stops in typical Florida fashion. I laugh again. "Hi, honey," elderly Mrs. Crafton calls across the street as she emerges through her front door, waving at me as her poodle, Muffet, sniffs around in the thick grass for a place to do its business. "Hey, you doing okay?" "Fine, just fine." She stands under her porch lights and eyes my Fiat. "You going to get a more reliable car?" This isn't the first time she's asked. "Nope." I should. Sure, it's cute, and it's Tiffany blue, my favorite color, but it only works sometimes. It's not very fast, and it costs an arm and a leg to fix. Still, I can't part with it, because my father bought it for me when I graduated from high school a few years back. Shortly after that, Daddy told me to wait here for him while he undertook an overseas mission. He'd be home, eventually. Since he's been a spy half my life, I'm used to him being gone. In his absence, I've done everything he asked. I started night school, I got a good job. He calls periodically, but it's been weeks now, and he's been gone for 2 years. I'm beginning to panic. This is the longest I've ever gone without seeing Daddy. What if he doesn't make it home this time? I can't even check on him. He left me a contact number in case of emergency, meaning my life is in imminent danger. Other than that, I'm forbidden to call. I don't even know who would answer. Mrs. Crafton shakes her head at me. "It's a heap. You should find a man so he can fix that blasted car next time it breaks down." Some months I spend more on repairs than rent, but every time I get behind the wheel, I see Daddy squeezing in beside me, smiling and telling me how proud he is. "Maybe that hunk at work you're gaga for?" She wags her gray brows at me. "That's old-fashioned, Edna." Besides, Rush doesn't have any interest in dating me, much less fixing my car. "That's practical, honey. And speaking of practical, I saw a guy wander into your backyard about an hour ago. I think he came to read your meter, so you should budget for another gas bill." Already? I just received one a week ago. Ugh. "Thanks for the heads up. Don't let Muffet wander into the mud." I point to her dog, now trotting happily toward a puddle after visiting the groomer yesterday. "Damn it!" She charges after the bit of white fluff. With another chuckle, I grab my mail from the box hanging beside my door. Wet. just like my shoes and my clothes and everything I'm carrying. I can't wait to get inside and ditch it all for a warm shower and my cozy pajamas. It's not cold by any definition, except a Floridian's. Anytime the temperature drops below 70, all the natives start shivering. Slinging my sopping army green messenger bag onto my shoulder, I unlock the door and let myself in, then shut it behind me. I toss my purse and the soggy mail on the nearby chair before yanking off my shoes, shirt, and skirt, dropping them onto the tile of the adjacent kitchen. I head inside. It's dark. I don't usually get home this late. And why is my place so cold? Did I inadvertently set my thermostat to meat locker before I left this morning? Teeth chattering, I pad down the shadowy hallway in my wet panties and clinging bra to turn off the burglar alarm. Then I realize the warning chime that I have 30 seconds to disable before the police are notified isn't pealing. The house is silent. Did I forget to turn it on when I left? No. I remember I dutifully punched in the code just like Daddy taught me. I always do it before I leave and again when I come home. I double-check it before showering and going to bed at night. The world is full of monsters. Daddy taught me to be prepared. Has someone been here? My heart thuds as I glance into my living room. Residual light from the street shafts through the small but classy space. White walls and chandeliers, tone-on-tone decor with glass accents and flowers. I'm usually really proud of this room. Right now, I'm scared. The books stacked at the bottom of my two-tiered table are out of order. I didn't do that. Panic floods my veins and turns my breath thready as I tread down the hall and peek in my home office. The desk light is on. The top drawer is open. The shutters are closed. I didn't do that either. Farther down the hall, the powder bath sink is audibly drip, drip, dripping. It wasn't this morning. Someone has definitely been here. Pressing a hand to my racing heart, I try to calm myself. I have to stop panicking and think. I need dry clothes before I can get out of here, but they're all in my bedroom, at the end of the hall. That's also where I keep my loaded gun. Daddy insisted I have one, and he taught me how to use it. Unfortunately, my intruder could be lying in wait for me there even now. I stand in the dark hall, trying to decide what to do. Risk going into the bedroom or backtrack to my purse, grab my phone, and call the police. Better safe than sorry. I pivot, tiptoeing to the foyer. I'll grab my wet clothes and sneak back to my car. Thank goodness it's now dark outside, and call the police. As I gather my things, I lunge for the door. Why is it suddenly ajar? And wrench it open, wincing at the squeak of the hinges. Before I can step onto the inky porch, I'm blocked by an obstruction that shouldn't be there. It's a wall of a man. I gasp, drop everything, and back away from the looming black shadow. Strong, masculine fingers grip my arm and jerk me against him, then wrap an unyielding arm around my waist. I'm trapped. Terror jolts me mute. Under the tall intruder's dark shirt, he has enormous shoulders and muscles for days. He's huge, overwhelming, threatening, and he's nearly inside my house, uninvited. Why? The possibilities are bone-chilling. I try to quell my panic and think of ways to rest free. Will Mrs. Crafton hear me if I scream? Before I can, the intruder covers my mouth with his enormous palm and silences me.
Rush. Inside my car, parked across the street from Vanessa Hartley's little cottage, I watch her, like I do every day. I watch her vault out of her car. I watch the rain soak her and plaster her soft cotton clothes against every curve God gave her. I watch her sprint to the porch and laugh at the rain. I watch with my cock throbbing. It's not the first time. It won't be the last. And it sucks. She's totally unattainable, off-limits, forbidden. She's a sparkling diamond I'm meant to gawk at, not one I'll ever have the chance or the right to own. Lusting after the boss's daughter is never a good idea, but with her, it's downright dangerous. Acting on it could get me killed. Her father is a lethal motherfucker with power and connections. No one sane crosses him. I'd walk away from my unhealthy obsession, but he's made her my responsibility. Watching over her is my purpose. Wanting her endlessly is my torment. Never having her is my punishment. It's worse because in the last 7 months, no, it's been coming for years, I fell for her. No matter what I do, I'm damned. Like every other night, I wait patiently for her to go inside, turn on the lights, make herself dinner, sit at her desk that faces the street, biting her lip and twirling a lock of hair around her finger while she finishes her homework. At somewhere just after 10 o'clock, she turns off her laptop, disappears into her shower for 8 minutes, 13 if she washes all those long blonde curls, then retires to bed to read. If she's not enjoying the book, she'll kill the lights within 10 minutes. If she is enjoying it, the lights might not go off until midnight. If she's really loving it, the lights will go off, then turn back on a few minutes later, after her self-induced orgasm. I wish like hell I could heap pleasure on her, but I know better. Look, but don't touch. Fantasize, but don't cross the line. I feel like a mutt choked by a too tight collar. But I can't be distracted. The men I'm protecting her from are the scourges and dregs of the criminal world, the worst of the worst. She needs me, even if she doesn't know it. I don't dare walk away. I can't, especially since I already know the taste of Vanessa's sweet kiss. I'm haunted by it, and if my boss knew I was the first man to taste the innocence of his baby girl's lips, I'd be dead. It's a no-win situation. Tonight, Vanessa takes refuge from the storm on her porch. When it stops abruptly, she chats with her elderly neighbor, grabs her mail, and heads inside. All normal. I wait for the lights to come on, and I wait. Then I wait some more. They don't. Something is wrong. I feel it in my gut. I'm still alive because I listen to my instincts, so I do the one thing I haven't in all the months of watching her. I get out of my car and head for her house, looking for her through her windows. Nothing. In the gathering darkness, I draw my weapon and peer through a crack in her door. I see the vague outline of her purse on a nearby chair. There's a pile of something. Clothes on the kitchen floor. Her alarm isn't whining. Vanessa is still nowhere in sight. Before I charge in, she tears around the corner. The moonlight shafting through the room tells me she's not naked, but it's close. Under silvery beams, I glimpse a flash of her pale hair and glowing skin. Stark shadows silhouette the rest of her, emphasizing her pouty breasts and the hard points of her nipples. The slight sway of her back is like a willow, curving gracefully into the swells of her pert ass. Her thighs are slender, her calves strong, and her feet delicate. One look is all it takes. I burn, I hunger, I need. I push desire aside when she runs to the kitchen like her very fine ass is on fire and scoops up her clothes. Then she charges in my direction, yanks her slightly squeaky front door wide open, and runs headlong into me, as if she was too afraid of what might be behind her to look straight ahead. She gasps. Yeah, she's not expecting me. I don't want to scare the hell out of her, but her trembling tells me that ship has sailed. What spooked her? I need to find the threat and neutralize it, now. Vanessa drops everything, eyes wide, backing away from me like I'm part of the problem rather than the answer to it. If there's danger in the house, she's not going back inside. To ensure that, I wrap my arm around her in an unyielding grip, jerk her against me, and crush her body to mine. Holy fuck, I've only once been as close to Vanessa Hartley as I am right now, and it ended with her lips on mine. The memory, even if it's ancient, isn't helping my restraint. When she opens her mouth to scream, I clap my hand over it and whisper, "Shh, Vanessa, don't be afraid."
Chapter 2. Vanessa. Don't be afraid? I'm terrified until the stranger's voice penetrates my haze of fear. Rush? His grip on my arms gentle. His heat warms me.
Yeah, what's going on?
As far as he knows, we're acquaintances by virtue of working under the same roof. My horrible high school embarrassment aside, one he seems to have blessedly forgotten, we've rarely spoken more than a passing greeting. Why is he at my house now? How did he find out where I live? And why is he staring at me as if he knows what I look like naked? Then I realize that, other than my transparent bra and tiny soaked panties, I am. Heat splashes across my cheeks, and I thank God for the dark. What are you doing here? His big fingers slide down my body to clutch my hips. He tugs me closer, his skin burning mine. Immediately, I know 3 things. He's one giant slab of muscle, his heart is beating quick and strong, and his cock is steely hard between us. Suddenly, I can't think.
That will wait until you've told me what scared you. Talk to me.
Normally, I'd be dying to know what could be compelling enough to make my work crush hunt me down on a Friday night, but I have a more pressing issue. Someone's been in my house. Instantly, his demeanor changes. He tenses. Every sense goes on alert.
You're sure? Did you see anyone?
No, but...
Has something been tampered with?
No one has trashed the place or robbed me blind, but... everything. As I whisper the rundown, Rush scans our surroundings, even more watchful. I have the distinct impression he also feels me trembling, that he knows my body is covered in goosebumps. I am sure he can tell my nipples are painfully hard too. That's all I noticed.
Were you changing when you realized what was happening?
I shake my head. I got caught in the rainstorm and I came in for dry clothes, but...
You realized your house had been breached and left. Have you given your alarm code to anyone, a friend or neighbor?
No.
Handyman?
I don't have one.
Lover?
I don't have one of those either. Is he asking because he suspects someone I'm seeing is unhinged, or because he wants to know if I'm taken? Stop being ridiculous. He's head of hotel security. He's doing what he's trained to do. No.
Is your intruder still in the house?
I'm not sure.
Have you called the police?
I shake my head. I was coming out to my car to do that. Suddenly, he's got a gun in his big hand.
Call now. I'll search inside.
The second he nudges me aside and steps over the threshold, standing alone on the porch in the dark while mostly naked doesn't seem wise. I'll go with you. He hesitates.
Tell you what, I'll search the perimeter first. You stay right behind me and call 911.
I'm not sure what he thinks he'll find, but I feel a lot safer with him than I do exposed in my front yard by myself. So I nod and fumble around on the porch until I find my messenger bag. As I pluck my phone free, he tucks me behind his broad back and heads down the porch steps for the side yard, illuminating our surroundings with the flashlight on his phone. I manage to control my trembling fingers long enough to dial for help. 911, what's your emergency? There's been a break-in at my house. Address? I answer that question, along with subsequent others while following Rush around the back of the house. No, I can't tell if the intruder is gone. No, I didn't notice anything missing. No, I don't know how he got into the house. Rush checks the last window on his circle around my cottage, then dims his phone.
There's no obvious entry point, no forced doors or broken windows.
Then how would anyone have gotten in and disarmed my alarm? I'm struggling to figure that out when the dispatcher tells me the police are en route and should be there shortly. I end the call, and I'm still wearing next to nothing. They're on their way. I need to get dressed. He curses under his breath.
Where are your clothes?
Vaguely, I gesture to the porch. It's so dark I can barely see where I dropped my stuff. But if I use my phone for light, Rush will see everything. Why did I pick today to wear my sexiest bra? Whatever, now isn't the time to be shy. Tossing on enough clothes to talk to the police so we can get to the bottom of this break-in is way more urgent than my modesty. With a sigh, I engage the flashlight on my phone and grab my clothes. I try not to dwell on Rush, but being so near him makes me achy and anxious. What can he see? And what does he think? As soon as I have the garments in hand, I darken the device and tug on my skirt. As I reach for my t-shirt, I hazard a glance his way. He's scanning my side yard, his gaze aimed just over my head. But there's no way he can't see the outline of my breasts and their hard tips in the moonlight. I yank my shirt into place, then face him. Anything out there?
Not that I see, but it's awfully still.
Finally, he fixes his stare on me.
Listen, once the police start investigating, it's possible they'll move things around. Do you want to breeze through the rest of the house and tell me what else has been disturbed?
If I don't, I'll never know what else my intruder touched. At the thought of a stranger in my house uninvited, his hands on my personal things, I feel sick and violated and angry. But I'm also scared. What if the intruder is still inside? He holds his weapon tighter, maintaining great trigger discipline.
I'm here.
Maybe that shouldn't make me feel better, but it does. Not just because he's a man with a gun, but because I've seen him in action on the job. He knows what he's doing. Plus, there's this rumor going around that he spent a few years as a Marine before doing some dangerous work for the government at one of the 3-letter agencies. I'm not sure what made him leave, much less settle in St. Augustine and take a job at an upscale hotel. Maybe he wanted something cushy and well-paid, but he doesn't strike me as the kind of man to back away from a challenge. Then let's look around.
We have to be quick.
He insists as he steps into the foyer.
Stay right behind me, fingers through my belt loops so you're no more than a half step off my ass. We'll start in the kitchen, circle back through the living room, then head down the hall and end in your bedroom.
Okay. How does he know my floor plan? I'll worry about that later. For now, I nod and follow him inside, holding my breath. I don't know what I'm expecting. Maybe some deranged loon jumping out at us, but we hear silence, suddenly broken by scratching. He tenses. That's just Kitty Pie on her scratching post. I whisper, "That's normal." A moment later, the lamp in my living room flares on. Rush stiffens. Kitty Pie scurries away in a blur of calico fluff, her tail bushed. My lights are on timers. There's another in my bedroom, too.
At the end of the hall to the right.
How did you know that?
I assumed, since a light just popped on from there.
Oh, right. I have to stop being paranoid. He stares down the hall like he's braced for trouble.
Show me what's out of place.
Now that light filters through the open space in front of us, I see even more things that aren't as I left them. The shade in my kitchen window is drawn. I raise it every morning before I leave. My kettle should be on the back right burner, not the cooktop. I set it there as soon as I'm done making my morning tea. Then I see something really alarming. There's a missing knife in my butcher block. Rush curses as he ushers me into the living room.
Anything besides the books been moved?
Those shutters have been closed, too. There are a few more things that have been messed with. Little things, nothing destructive, nothing threatening, but creepy all the same. My bathroom is a similar story. The pink cami and boy shorts I wore to bed last night are missing from the hook behind the shower door. My towel has been moved, and I can almost picture someone touching it, sniffing it, thinking about me naked wrapped in it. I shudder.
You okay?
Rush asks. When I turn to him, his dark eyes hold me captive. They're almost black, intense, somehow shiver-inducing and comforting at once. As much as I can be, but my favorite scented lotion and a tube of red lipstick I sometimes wear are missing from my vanity.
Damn it. Duly noted. Let's look in here.
He pulls me through the bathroom into my bedroom. Shadows fill the corners where the light from my nightstand isn't bright enough to reach, so I flip on the lights overhead. I don't see anyone hiding, and no one jumps out at me, but the drapes have been drawn, despite the fact I opened them this morning. They're now flapping in the breeze. The slider to the backyard is open.
Yep.
He growls. He's already noticed, and he's furious. It was closed 5 minutes ago. Rush gives me a grim nod.
Now we know when and where he exited your unit.
Yes, and it's obvious that if I hadn't been so aware of my surroundings, I would have unwittingly put myself in the intruder's clutches. God knows what would have happened then. I grab Rush's arm tighter as he slides my closet door open with his boot. At a glance, everything appears undisturbed. That's a relief, until I look at my bed. Rush wraps his arm around me.
He's been under your covers.
Yes. Clearly someone else lay on my sheets, then inexpertly tried to make it again. The thought of a stranger in my bed doing who knows what makes me stumble with a wave of nausea. Rush's grip tightens as if he's lending me his strength. It works. I feel safer, more protected. But I'm also aware that I'm small comparatively, that I can't match someone like him in size and strength, that if Rush wasn't beside me now, I would have been completely alone to fend off this terrible intrusion. I hate being afraid and vulnerable to a potential stalker or rapist. Swallowing back the sickening apprehension, I stare at my lingerie drawer like it's a snake. Relief fills me when I hear a car cruising down the street before pulling up in my driveway, cutting short my time to discover what else my intruder displaced. I can't bury my head in the sand forever, but at least I know that whoever invaded my home, my personal space, is no longer inside. What about tonight, once everyone is gone?
They're here.
Rush settles his hand at the small of my back. Despite all the upheaval and upset, I flash hot at his touch. Yeah, I just need to look at one thing. I veer to my nightstand and inch open the drawer without touching the knob. My gun is still there, exactly where I left it. I breathe a sigh of relief. At the slam of the car doors outside, Rush knees the drawer closed and leads me down the hall. Thanks for being here and helping, I say.
You don't have to thank me. I'm glad I was here.
I'm still not sure why he came, but there's no time to ponder that. Instead, we meet the two officers in the driveway and exchange a few words. After a cursory search of the house that seemingly netted nothing unusual, they meander back out, ask a few questions, then shrug at one another. Bottom line, since nothing was taken and there are no provable signs of a break-in that can't be written off to my forgetfulness, there isn't much they can do. As soon as the police leave, Rush turns to me.
You okay?
I'm not thrilled, but I'll be fine. Thanks for staying with me during all this. I didn't mean to eat up your Friday evening. He waves me away.
Tell me what you want to do next. Stay here tonight, or come home with me.
Chapter 3. The only man I've ever wanted is asking me if I'd like to spend the night at his place? If we'd be naked and doing the mattress tango, I'd love that, but Rush is just being a nice guy, a concerned coworker. I need to stop wishing for more. That's not easy. I still get the same butterflies and flushes of heat I got years ago when I was the forgettable, gawky girl who shocked him with an out-of-the-blue kiss. But I guess I'm still forgettable if all he wants to do to me is babysit. I appreciate the offer, but I can't leave. I've only had Kitty Pie for a few days, and she's proven she's a destructive force, especially at night if she gets too bored. I have to stay here. He levels me with a skeptical glance.
Will you really be able to sleep by yourself tonight?
No. Whoever's been in my house obviously knows how to bypass my locks and my security system. Knowing that, how much could I possibly sleep? Sure, I have a gun, and I'm decent in target practice, but the idea of actually using it on a real human gives me pause. I don't know. I look away. Rush tips my chin up until I'm looking at him.
What if I stayed here with you?
I have no place for a man Rush's size to sleep. The lone spare bedroom I turned into an office for homework, and my couch is more like a love seat. But he's searched the place, so he knows that. Just like he knows I've got a roomy, queen-size bed. But he's not interested in sharing it with me. Maybe I could make you dinner to thank you for your help, and afterward we can see if that makes sense, okay?
Sure, whatever you want.
How about you hold me down, kiss me breathless, and take my V card? Instead, I smile. I appreciate it. It's nearly 8 o'clock. What sounds good for dinner?
Whatever you feel like making. I can't remember the last time someone cooked for me.
Seriously? He doesn't have dates every night of the week? He probably does, they're just too busy to eat. Duh. You look like one of those super healthy types who only eats tofu and vegetables. I was going to make fried chicken and mashed potatoes with biscuits.
If you do, I'll love you forever.
I laugh. Big Bad Rush has a sense of humor. Southern cooking it is. Beer? He raises a brow at me.
You drink it?
No. I keep a few bottles in case my neighbor comes over on weekends to watch some sporting event only my satellite provider gets. Rush saunters into the kitchen.
Lucky guy.
No, Mrs. Crafton is an 80-year-old widow whose passions in life include college football, the Westminster Dog Show, Say Yes to the Dress, and beer. He laughs, a rich, wonderful sound dripping with baritone and testosterone.
She sounds like a character.
Now, just like the first time I laid eyes on him, he makes my everything flutter. I turn to the refrigerator and pull out the package of chicken. I won't have leftovers, but I'll have Rush at my table. That's way better. Cool your jets. Otherwise, he'll figure out he makes you gaga. Good advice. I should listen. Except when I turn to him, I'm struck by how gorgeous he is and find myself staring.
Need help?
He's obviously suppressing a smile. Clearly, I don't have to give away my feelings before making an idiot out of myself. I'm already doing it. I've got it, thanks.
How about I pour some wine?
He eyes the bottle of Merlot in the rack beside my kitchen cabinet. You drink it?
I'll drink about anything.
Normally, I don't imbibe around a guy I don't know well. I'm a super lightweight, but it's been a hell of a day, and being around Rush makes me more nervous than usual. Then wine would be great. He uncorks the bottle while I clean the kitchen and heat the frying pan. I'm breading the pieces when he bends and holds the glass to my lips.
Since your hands are occupied.
I wrap my lips around the rim of the glass and close my eyes as the wine spills onto my tongue, tart and fruity. It's so intimate to be drinking from his hand, but he's steady and patient, making sure I get a nice long swallow before taking my cue and setting the stem aside. Thanks. I lick my lips and notice his stare following the motion. Nerves kick my stomach. My tongue suddenly feels tied, but I try not to seem googly-eyed. So, when you first got here, you said you wanted to talk about something? He shrugs.
It's not important now. Tell me about you.
I went to prom with your younger brother, Ridge. Yeah, probably not the best place to start. Well, I'm an only child. My mom died when I was 2, so I don't really remember her. My dad mostly raised me with a lot of help from his sister, who now lives in Ohio. I'm skipping the whole high school experience, since reminders might bring back that night I can't forget. I started working at the hotel about 2 years ago. I'm going to night school and I read a lot. Boring, huh?
Not at all. Sorry about your mom.
Thanks. Mentions of her always make me a little melancholy. Dad has always said I'm a lot like her.
You like your job?
Sure. You?
It's definitely different than leading covert missions in enemy territory and hauling ass to tight extractions after completing the objective.
Iraq?
And Afghanistan. Both hellholes.
And he doesn't want to talk about it. I get that. But you like the job? He bobs his head, his dark eyes dancing under the kitchen lights.
Still getting used to it.
Adrenaline junkie? I'm guessing yes, just like I'm guessing he misses the action.
Guilty. I'm settling for skydiving and motorcycle racing instead.
Settling? That sounds terrifying.
Nah.
He assures me as I set the breaded chicken in the hot pan. Silence, broken only by the popping grease, sizzles.
So, what do you read?
Romances where hunky guys like you tie me to the bed and have their wicked way with me until I nearly pass out from orgasm overload. Fiction.
Yeah.
He looks amused, like he knows the truth. That's not possible, right? Stop being paranoid. Focus. I nod and smile, pretending that my frying chicken requires great focus, but I feel my cheeks heating up. Suddenly, he sidles up behind me. His woodsy scent fills my nose. He settles his hands on my hips, and he's like a blast furnace behind me, pumping out heat. I tremble, just like the night we met.
You never got to change into dry clothes. I can watch the chicken if you want to do that now.
I venture a glance over my shoulder. His face is right there. Full lips, hard jaw, dark 5 o'clock shadow. I'm swooning, literally heart-pounding, breathless, and unsteady on my feet. Are you sure?
Positive. Need me to do anything else?
Can you peel some potatoes, too? I retrieve the peeler from the drawer and the potatoes from the pantry. He smiles and gives me an inch of space, but not much more, before he lets me go with a squeeze.
You got it.
I give him a nervous smile, then I head toward my bedroom, taking my phone with me. When I reach the back of the house, I ignore everything the intruder touched and find a clean pair of denim cutoffs and a t-shirt that says, "Friday is my second favorite F word." A quick glance at the mirror above my dresser tells me my mascara smudged in the rain and my hair is a mess. After wiping away the former and tousling the latter, I head back to the kitchen. It's a normal Friday night, but it's not. Someone broke into my house to take nothing. So Rush Garrison is in my kitchen, offering to protect me all night long. Both are surreal, and I'm having a tough time deciding which is more believable. Back under the bright lights, I see he's already peeled and cubed a small pile of potatoes. Thanks, but wow, I'll have leftovers for days.
Clearly you've never tried to feed me before.
He grins before he cuts his gaze in my direction. Suddenly his smile fades. He swallows. His stare rakes me, lingering on my snug t-shirt, then my legs. New goosebumps erupt across my skin. I feel my nipples turn erect again, my womb actually clenching just from the way he looks at me.
Come here,
he murmurs, setting the knife aside. Biting my lip, I comply. His deep voice compels me to. In fact, it was the first thing to draw me to him way back when. What? Rush pulls me closer, smiling when I settle my hands on his solid chest.
You sure you're going to be okay?
If he keeps touching me, no. This doesn't feel like a protector soothing a girl. This feels like a man wanting to be close to a woman. It's official. I've gone crazy. Sure, I smile. I'm not hurt. He didn't take anything. My house is still standing, and you're making me feel safer.
Am I?
Yeah.
Good.
He looks into my eyes, and I can feel his hot stare driving straight through my trembling heart and knotting stomach, all the way to my soul. But he already owns me. He just doesn't know it. I swallow. I should, cook these potatoes and start some biscuits. Rush releases me slowly, reluctantly.
What can I do to help?
Take me to bed until I'm a shaking, sated, sore pile of bliss. But that's not what he means, and I have a feeling if I don't give him something to focus on, I'll be so rattled that I'll burn dinner. Set the table. Plates are in the cabinet. I point. Silverware in the drawer below it. He nods and gets busy. I notice then he's already boiled water for the potatoes, so I dump them in, check the chicken, and start the biscuits while sipping my wine. It doesn't take Rush long to finish his task, and I'm more than a little surprised when Kitty Pie slinks his way and proceeds to sniff him. Rush lets her, kneeling to pet between her ears. Minutes later, my skittish kitten, who spent her first 3 days here running away every time I did anything except feed her, is curled up in his arms, resting her dainty chin on his big shoulder and slumbering away. How did you do that?
Patience. She was curious but nervous, so I put myself in her space and let her come to me.
Suddenly, I wonder if we're actually talking about the cat. Well, it worked. And I fear it's working on me too. Now that he's here and offering to keep me safe, it's all I can do not to slink closer and rub up against him.
She's sweet.
Do you like cats? I ask as I flip the chicken.
Never spent much time around them, but she seems like an adorable fluff ball.
We talk about Kitty Pie before conversation drifts to work. No, I missed the drunk man urinating in the elevator at last weekend's wedding, but he'd totally heard that one of my coworkers had been fired for spending the night with a guest. And his wife. Our laughter is still ringing around the room as I plate the chicken, which looks perfectly fried, and pull out the biscuits. He stops me with a single question.
So, I hear Paul asked you out. You say yes? Chapter 4. Rush. Fuck me. If it's hard not to want Vanessa while watching her from the curb outside, being this close to her and not claiming her is agony. Somehow I find the restraint to be a good boy, at least until it's obvious she doesn't want to answer my question, and I need to know. The idea of her with Paul makes me violent. She bites her pouty lip. Her long lashes brush her cheeks, flushed from the wine. Any chance my nearness is contributing to her rosy face?
You heard about that?
She winces, then tries to cover the expression with a smile. Yep, within 5 minutes of the guy asking. I know everything that happens to Vanessa. At work, at home, at school. I know what she's watching on Netflix. I know what she's reading on her device. I even know what she surfs on her laptop late on a Saturday night when she's feeling alone. What would she say if she knew I was aware of all her most forbidden fantasies? Vanessa bustles to the table with platters of food. I take the rest and follow her, grinding my teeth as she bends over to set the plates down, revealing the womanly curve of her ass, and more. Jesus, is she even wearing panties? As we sit, I start to sweat. I knock back the last of my wine, trying to cool down, but I've done all the drinking I should tonight. Vanessa needs me to keep her safe, which means staying sharp and keeping my hands off of her. No idea where that fortitude will come from. I shrug. Everyone heard about it. She rolls her eyes.
Why is the staff so gossipy?
Because talking about co-workers is more entertaining than work.
It's so annoying.
She huffs as she loads up a plate of chicken, potatoes, and biscuits that look every bit as good as my mother's. And that's saying something. Vanessa isn't a gossip. She doesn't seem to care one whit who on staff is doing whom. In the months I've watched her, she's kept remarkably to herself, mostly chatting with co-workers if it affects the job in some way. But I've also seen her comfort people. I especially adored the way she dropped everything a few weeks back to help one of the new front desk clerks who suddenly had to put down her dog. Vanessa was compassionate and sweet, and everything a person could want in a friend. Once she hands me my plate, she dishes herself some dinner, then digs in while I pour more vino into her empty glass. I'm not trying to get her drunk so I can get her underneath me. If I ever coax her there, I want her 100% sober and on board. But right now, she needs to relax and forget about the danger. Worrying about that shit is my job, but since I'm not allowed to put her in an orgasm coma, booze is my next best option to calm her. Can't argue with that. So, did you? I prompt. Say yes to Paul?
No.
She hides her face behind her hands, then peeks over her fingers at me with those batting blue eyes. She's a woman, but sometimes she has this lost little girl quality that makes my dick so fucking hard. Yes, I'm a total pervert, and the fact she turned down a guy who's perfectly acceptable boyfriend material and doesn't have blood all over his hands confuses me. Why?
He's a nice guy. It wouldn't be right for me to lead him on.
You're not interested?
No.
I can't help the smile that crosses my face. I'm happy to hear that. She blinks in confusion.
Why?
If I can't touch her, I don't want anyone else putting their hands on her either. That's not fair, I know, but no one said life was. Honestly, I don't think he's right for you, I say, digging into my food. Vanessa sighs.
He's really into Star Wars, has a comic book collection, and loves cosplay. Nothing wrong with it, just not my jam. How's your dinner?
Damn good. Wow. This might be the best gravy I've ever tasted. I level a hot stare on her. I should marry you. She giggles.
Maybe you should. Gravy whenever you want.
Holy shit, I want a lot more than gravy from Vanessa, especially now that she's flirting. It's gotta be the wine, because this isn't like her. At least, not the her in the office. But she's letting her guard and her hair down with me. It's another turn-on I don't know how I'll ignore. Maybe I will. If her father doesn't kill me for the mere suggestion. But I really would marry her for her gravy, and all the other things I've come to adore about her. But now I need to take care of her. Tell me how you're feeling. When her smile fades, I have to dig my fingers into my thighs to stop myself from comforting her. But being this near her for this long has decimated my restraint. If I touch her at all, I'll drag her onto my lap, lay my mouth over hers, and fuck the consequences so I can fuck her.
Calmer than I thought I'd be a few hours after having an intruder in my house.
Because she's on the verge of being tipsy. Good. Drink up. When I nudge the wine glass a little closer, she lifts it and complies. Her easy acquiescence, along with the sight of her graceful throat working, does something to me. Probably because the soft line of her neck leads straight to the swells of her chest, flushed and flashing a hint of cleavage over the V-neck of her t-shirt. And her tits underneath. The stuff D-cup dreams are made of. Focus, her safety comes first. After swallowing another amazing bite, I clear my throat. Can you think of anyone who might want to break into your house, and why?
No.
Has Paul given you any reason to think he's that kind of creep?
He's harmless.
I suspect she's right, and that's unfortunate, because the alternative is much grimmer. Have you had other trouble lately with anyone, or noticed anything unusual? She finishes nibbling a biscuit.
No. It's been quiet around the neighborhood. The Abbotts next door have been on a cruise. Mrs. Crafton is always here. She sees everything. She mentioned a guy from the gas company coming by this afternoon, but...
Did she give any detail? Can it really be a coincidence that a meter reader and an intruder prowled around her place on the same afternoon?
No, but I didn't ask. I can call her.
I shake my head. We'll deal with it tomorrow. It's getting late. She glances at the clock on her microwave, and her eyes go wide.
Is it really after 9?
It is.
It's a good thing I don't have any homework tonight. I couldn't concentrate. I go to night school.
She clarifies. I nod. Too rattled? She tries to suppress a smile, but can't. It's damn cute.
And too tipsy.
We finish dinner in relative silence, except the moaning I can't quite seem to check. Once we both push our plates away, I see she's consumed a second glass of wine. I fill her up one more time. I suspect she'll need it, along with a couple of aspirin, before bed. When she starts clearing the table, I wrap my fingers around her arm. I'll get the dishes. Why don't you take a shower and get ready for bed?
It's a lot of dishes. I hate to leave you to...
I'm fine. Trust me. Being one of the younger kids in my family, I did a lot of dishes. Only my younger brother Ridge had it worse. I say to see her reaction. She pales.
Oh, okay. If you don't mind, I'll just go and...
Sure. Why don't you let me sweep your bedroom and bathroom one last time? Make sure it's clear and that your uninvited guest didn't leave any surveillance gizmos behind.
Didn't think of that. Good call.
Vanessa resumes clearing while I haul ass down the hall to prowl around her bedroom. It's obvious the intruder got in through the sliding glass door. It's old, like the rest of the place. The latch on the door is so rickety, the intruder probably wiggled it loose and slid right in. I'll fix that tomorrow. But that doesn't explain how the dirtbag managed to disengage her alarm. There are about a dozen phone calls I could make to start getting answers, but I shouldn't incite panic and jeopardize the larger mission. It would be premature, and I'm equipped to handle this situation. Vanessa's father knows that, or he wouldn't have put me in St. Augustine to watch his daughter. I need to see what develops. But for safety's sake, I'm going to assume the threat is credible, not random, and instigated by a professional. Fuck. I don't have the equipment needed to truly sweep the house free from cameras, bugs, or other crap meant to surveil Vanessa, but I've been doing this for years. I can almost guess where anyone with half a brain would hide such devices. A few minutes later, I'm satisfied. I didn't find anything, so I assumed that if her intruder intended to spy on her, he got interrupted and fled. But she's a job to him, so he'll be back. I'll be waiting. After making sure her windows are locked, I managed to find a discarded metal curtain rod at the back of her closet. I would rather have had a broom to break its handle, but I only saw a cordless hand vacuum. At least the rod fits into the track of her sliding glass door. Not a perfect solution, but it will work for a night. I'll MacGyver something more secure and permanent tomorrow. A sixth sense has me staring at her bed again with its towering wrought iron headboard. The sloppy way it's made and the little bump in the middle niggles at me. Quickly, I toss aside the blue and gray throw pillows and yank down the white comforter. In the middle of the flat sheet lies her missing kitchen knife and the pink shreds of some lacy fabric. I fit the pieces back together and realize he sliced up a pair of soft shorts and a matching tank top. Her pajamas. Shit. If the bastard wanted to scare her right before she went to bed, that would have done it. My hunch, he meant it as a warning. Whoever he is, he's threatening her with harm. He'll have to go through me first. I strip the sheets from her bed. I'm not sure the bastard made himself cozy here, too, but I won't have Vanessa sleeping on these linens in case he did. After wrapping the ribbons of her pajamas and her knife inside her bedding, I tuck everything under one arm and make my way back to the kitchen. She doesn't need to know what I found until morning. When I get there, the kitchen faucet is running, and she's holding a plate under the stream, staring off into space with a loopy smile. Vanessa? Startled, she drops the plate into the soapy water, then sends me a guilty little grin.
Sorry, I was just thinking.
I'd love to know about what, but given the mischief in her smile, I can guess. Fuck if I'm not thinking it too. Sorry to interrupt. I yanked the sheets off your bed in case your intruder was also a creeper. Where's your washer? She points to a little room off the side of the refrigerator.
But I'll do that.
I don't mind. I head into the laundry room that looks like she converted half into a pantry. Go get your shower.
Are you sure? I started the dishes. I can stay and finish them.
She takes the last swig of wine from her glass, her third, and settles the stem in the soapy water. I set the bundle of laundry on top of the washer and pick up a bottle of aspirin, shaking out 2 tablets. No, I'll do it. Take these. When she puts them in her palm, I fill a glass with some water from the dispenser on the refrigerator door and hand it to her. She swallows both dutifully.
Thanks.
I nod. Do you just want me to hang around while you shower, or do you want me to stay the night? I'm really hoping she chooses the latter. Practically speaking, if I'm close, it will be far easier to protect her. If she tosses me out, I'll be spending the night in my car down the street. It will suck, but I've done it before. But I also know staying here will be hell. Being in the same room with her all night long? Not gonna lie, I'm worried that kind of temptation will make me fatally weak. She sinks her teeth into her lower lip again. I really wish she'd stop doing that. It makes me too fucking aware of how pouty her mouth is and how badly I'd like to shove it full of my cock.
I know you probably didn't come here thinking you'd stay for more than a few minutes, but I'd love it if you hung around tonight. I only have the one bed, but I promise to stay on my side.
Is she kidding? If it weren't for her father's threats, I'd violate her space and every other part of her she'd let me, right now. Hey, it's your bed. Sleep however you want. If you'd feel more comfortable, I can pass the night in the chair in the corner. I pray she agrees. I'm far less likely to cave to desire if I'm not wrapped up in the sheets with her, feeling her all warm and soft while she smells of female and sweetness. But Vanessa shakes her head, and she's so tipsy she almost stumbles. As I steady her with an arm around her waist, she giggles.
Whew, that last glass of wine just hit me. I've had too much.
After what went down tonight, you needed it.
Thank you for being so nice.
That comment only proves she doesn't know me at all. No one has ever called me nice. My high kill count explains why. But I just smile. You're welcome.
I wish you were a little less nice, though.
Do you? She sighs.
I don't know why you showed up tonight, but I was hoping...
What? She's clearly reluctant to finish her sentence.
That you'd come here wanting to have sex with me. I would have said yes.
My heart stops. I nearly choke. She's serious. That explains all the glances she's sneaked my way and the little blushes staining her cheeks, but I don't think we should talk about this tonight. Or I'll stop caring who her father is and that I work for him and fuck her anyway. She wrinkles her nose.
But tomorrow I'll be sober and totally embarrassed.
I won't let her. Do you need help getting down the hall and into the shower?
Are you offering to shower with me?
She sends me a come-hither glance. It's damn hard to resist. Not when you're tipsy.
What about when I'm sober?
She asks hopefully. I swallow. We'll talk then.
That's a no, isn't it?
Her shoulders slump, and she rolls her eyes at herself.
I should have known. I'm the ordinary girl who smiles at guests from behind the front desk and hands them their room keys, and you're...
I'm what?
Hot. Of course you're not interested. Of course you're friend-zoning me. Tell me to shut up.
I don't. Instead, I pull her against my body, wrap my hands in her hair, and tug until she's looking right into my eyes. You want the truth, little girl? Her blue eyes go wide.
Please.
Fuck, she even begs pretty. The first time I walked into the hotel and saw you, all I could do was stare. Now, I think of you, I want you, I dream of you, I masturbate to thoughts of you. I would love to kiss you. I would kill to fuck you. She gasps, her eyes dilate, her pulse beats wildly at her neck, her nipples harden. And I would ruin you. But it's true, I would. I pull harder on her hair and lean into her face, so close I can smell the wine on her breath. It makes me crazy because I know how fucking sweet she would be. God, I wish like hell her goodness could purify me and make me worthy. But nothing can. I would destroy you. Don't let me. Then I let her go and watch her scurry from the room before disappearing into the master. I want to chase her, but I don't. If I put my hands on her again now, I'll stop caring about everything except getting inside her and making her mine. When I reach the washing machine, I take deep, angry breaths. Motherfucking son of a bitch. Of all the women in the world to fall for, why did it have to be the daughter of one of Uncle Sam's most deadly covert spies? And why won't he even consider me worthy enough to date his daughter? I scoff, because I know why. This business is dirty, and I've done things for God and country that would horrify most, especially someone with a soft, sweet heart like Vanessa. With a defeated huff, I extract her ruined pajamas from the heap and trash them. I throw the knife in the sink, not giving a shit that it clatters loudly in the little room. It matches my frustration. I feel even better when I shove the sheets in the washer, toss in a pod, then slam the door. I start the cycle with a grunt. What the fuck am I going to do with myself now? I'm in uncharted territory. I need advice. After yanking the phone from my pocket, I scroll through my contacts. All of my brother's names are lined up alphabetically. Mom thought it was darling that we all had names that begin with an R, and Dad loves her so much he indulged her. Calling my oldest brother Ransom is out of the question. Something happened to him. Not the shit with Lydia that went down when he was in high school. We all know that messed with him. But recently, like the past 2 months, whoever she is, she fucked him up. I don't dare reach out to Ridge right now. He's deep undercover, but that fits. Not only is my younger brother buckets full of crazy, he's still the wildest of the bunch. My resume is hardly sparkling, but Ridge's is soaked in blood. How he's not dead yet, I have no idea. That only leaves Rand, but that's a good thing. He fell for pop phenom Sophie Larson and they got married a couple months back. They're already expecting a baby, and they're perfect for each other. Best of all, he might have the answer to my dilemma. I hit the contact, and he answers right away. Hey, Rush, what's going on? You good? I'm great. You? His voice sounds smoky, and I hear Sophie softly whisper something in the background. My guess, they've been enjoying married life this evening, and for them, the night isn't over. Lucky bastard. I'm hoping you'll forgive me if I axe the small talk. I need help. I hear sounds that suggest he's kissing his wife, and it's a long moment before he answers. Sure, tell me what's up. After glancing down the hall to make sure Vanessa isn't coming my way, I sigh. I'm in deep with my boss's daughter. If I touch her, he'll kill me, and I don't mean that figuratively. Wow, okay. Give me a second, honey.
Sure.
I hear Sophie murmur, then the sheets rustle. Normally, I'd tease my brother about constantly fucking his wife, but good for him. And I don't have time now. So, if you take her to bed, you'll get fired? Rand asks. That's a given, but I don't care, and that's not my problem. So, he'll kill you. Are you capable of beating him? I have to think about that. Physically, yeah, but he has 20 years on me in this dirty fucking business. He has tricks I've never thought of, and he's got the kind of patience it takes to wait until one day, years later, he whacks me in a dark alley with a knife in my gut. Damn, how in love with this girl are you? Hopelessly. What did you do, bro? At some point you knew getting seriously involved with Sophie was going to be epically public, and you'd have a whole shit show to deal with. How did you... I'm not even sure what words I need to finish that question. Decide she was worth it despite everything? You come to that point, man. This girl, Vanessa means enough to you or she doesn't. I'm sure her father wants to make sure she's treated well and is always taken care of. He's never said, but I'd worship her. You would. I'm dying to, but the job, you might have to rethink that. Done. If it means having Vanessa, I'll find something else. So you'll have to convince her father. But it's not that simple. Rand, he knows what I'm capable of. He's seen me in action. Hell, he's taught me most of what I know. I doubt he'll ever think I'm good enough for her. You don't know that. He's warned me away before, more than once. All you can do is plead your case, stand your ground, and be willing to put a ring on her finger. I would, but I don't know if she's ready. Why not? I sigh. She's only 21. So, it's not like you're an old man. But I'm older by more than a couple of years. So what? How does she feel about you? She's interested. But does she feel more than sexual curiosity? Well, if you're secretly dating, I'd hope so. We're not. My job has been to protect her, and I fell. I wasn't kidding when I said I hadn't touched her. Shit. Rand lets out a deep breath. You know what? It doesn't matter. Same deal, bro. She's either worth the risk or she's not, and only you can decide. I don't have to think. I already know. She is. Rand laughs. That's the funny thing in this family. Once we know, and we commit fast. Look at Mom and Dad. Hell, look at me. And maybe if I play this right, I'll follow in their footsteps. Yeah. If you're sure, then don't waste your time with me. Go talk to her. Tell her how you feel. Convince her you're the one for her. Then sit her dad down, lay out your cards. Be prepared for anything, and let the chips fall. He's right. Thanks. I gotta go. I want to meet this girl. If I can, somehow, convince her to spend her life with me. You got it. Smiling, I hang up and jog down the hall to Vanessa. She's worth whatever I have to go through. Yeah, her dad will come after me, but I'll handle Douglas. Not sure how yet, but I will. Just as soon as Vanessa and I have talked, and I've made love to her. God, I fucking need her. But when I round the corner into her bedroom so I can get started on all that, I find her lying in the bed she remade, all curled up with her comforter, one slender shoulder bisected by a thin white strap peeking out. Fast asleep. I let out a frustrated sigh. Looks like I'll be waiting until tomorrow. Fuck. For tonight, I mess with the alarm on her little cottage until I'm able to set it, then undress down to my boxers, climb into bed behind her, and pull her soft warmth against my body. This is way closer to her than I dared to think I'd be tonight. It's enough right now. Peace settles deep inside me as I close my eyes.
Chapter 5. Vanessa. Something wet and rough drags its way up my forehead, then again across my nose. I groan and peel one eye open. I find myself looking into curious blue eyes. Kitty Pie, I croak. She needs to go back to sleep. Doesn't she know it's Saturday? I send the clock a side-eyed glance. Definitely too early to be awake. The sun isn't even up. But Kitty Pie doesn't care about my beauty rest. She jumps onto my hip, then walks up my side to sit on my shoulder and purr in my ear. And since she's cleaned one part of my face, she moves in to start another. My adorable furball wants food or attention, or both. All right, I sigh as I pet her, then roll out of bed. Half awake, I stumble through the still, shadowy room, make use of the bathroom, then brush my teeth. It's probably a good thing I'm up. Besides, I'll have more time to read. But as I head back into my bedroom to grab my e-reader from my nightstand, the hunk of musky man in my personal space stops me short. Is that Rush Garrison lying in my bed? The dawning sun just beginning to seep in behind my drapes tells me yes, it actually is. Suddenly I'm fully awake. My heart pumps furiously. OMG, he spent the night here, in my house, in my bed. What did we do, and why can't I remember any of it? Damn it, I want to. It was epic, right? It had to be. I scan my memories through my wine-induced haze, and one memory penetrates immediately. There are just some things a girl will never forget, no matter how much booze she imbibes.
I think of you. I want you. I dream of you. I masturbate to thoughts of you. I would love to kiss you. I would kill to fuck you.
Rush said all that. To me. It wasn't a dream. Yes, and what did I do? I freaking passed out. Brilliant. At my feet, Kitty Pie rubs against my ankles, darting between them as she looks up at me with a mournful meow. So I make a mad dash to the kitchen and open a can of kitten food. She's right on my heels. I don't know how you eat this, I tell my feline as I scoop the food into her bowl. It smells horrible. But she's incredibly happy as she dives in face first, apparently not caring about my opinion. When I drop the spoon in the kitchen sink, I spy my missing knife. When did that turn up? Where? Does it matter right now? Super hot Rush Garrison is lying in your bed and he's dying to have sex with you. What are you waiting for? The punchline, I guess. But maybe there isn't one. I hustle back down the hall and spot Rush coming out of my bathroom, wearing an expression I can't decipher. But then I can't think because I realize the only other thing he's wearing is a pair of dark boxers. The rest of him is all hair-roughened bulges and inked muscle. His shoulders look as if they could hold up the world and still have strength to spare. The solid breadth of his wide chest narrows to his abs that have so many packs I lose count, along with my ability to speak. My mouth hangs open as my gaze keeps drifting down. Everything about him is so male and naked and hard. There's no denying he's excited to see me. I swallow.
Vanessa?
I'm gawking, and he knows it. How mortifying. I manage somehow to wrench my glance down to the floor. Morning. My feet come into focus, along with something totally horrifying. My nipples. Before I fell asleep last night, I tossed on the first thing I could find, an old threadbare cami, and not a single other stitch. It's plain. It's white. And under the light filtering out of the bathroom, it's basically transparent. Kill me now. I risk a glance around the room to see if there's a robe in sight. All I find is Rush scanning me up and down, his eyes flaring hot as his stare brands between my legs, singes my breasts, then fastens on my own.
Morning.
Oh, God. Everything about him arouses me. I can't breathe. What is he thinking? Wanting? Did he really mean those words he growled at me last night? How do I respond? Indecision grips me. Cover up my feelings and hide, or go for it. I know what I want.
Vanessa.
He swallows as if he's trying to say something difficult.
We need to talk.
Of course, he's changed his mind. He wants to tell me his come-on was merely the wine talking, or that he was simply horny, or that he only said what he thought would take my mind off everything traumatic yesterday. But I don't want to hear whatever bad news he feels the need to break. If this is my one chance, despite the fact we work together and I only know what I'm doing because I read some really hot books, I'm going to give this my all. Can it wait? He looks confused. Then his stare rakes me again. His hands curl into fists.
Is something wrong?
No, but I need to... What? Plead with him to forget that until last night he'd been nothing but my coworker who had never shown a bit of interest in me? Never mind. I can't say this with words. Before I lose my nerve, I stomp in his direction, plaster my body against his, and stand on my tiptoes to circle my arms around his neck. For the second time in my life, I impulsively press my lips to his. He freezes. I feel his surprise. It takes him a moment, and I'm so afraid he'll push me away that my heart starts aching as it trips in my chest. But Rush doesn't. An instant later, he recovers from being startled with a vengeance. Suddenly his fingers are in my hair, tugging me right where he wants me. Then he slants his lips over mine, takes control, and surges into my mouth with a hungry growl. He's everywhere, against my tongue, tugging on my scalp, heating my breasts, and prodding the hard rod of his erection between my legs. I'm dizzy, my head spinning as he bends enough to reach around me, grab my thighs, and lift me against his body. I gasp into his kiss as my legs automatically anchor around his hips, and I feel every inch of him against my sex. Oh my God. I wriggle against him. Need blooms between my legs and jets heady arousal through my veins. It's intoxicating. It's wonderful. It's unlike anything I've ever felt. Before I writhe against him again, Rush tosses me on the bed and follows me down into the cloud of the soft quilt. He captures my nipple, cami and all, into his mouth and sucks hard. My arousal turns sharp, jolting straight between my legs. What is he doing to me? Is that a yes? I manage to whimper.
Tell me this is what you want.
He palms my breast, breathing hard. It's so difficult to think when his thumb brushes against my nipple back and forth, the rhythm almost hypnotic. But I don't have to think about it. If I'm being honest, I have more than a crush on him. I'm half in love, and even if he walks away, I'll have one amazing memory. Yes, I look into his eyes, which go from dark to impossibly black. I'm sure.
Is this just a casual fuck to you?
Is he serious? His hard expression tells me he's not going any further until I answer him. What is he looking for? Do you want it to be? Rush glowers.
That's not the question. Does this mean more to you than sex?
I still don't know what the right answer is, so I might as well be honest. Besides, if we keep going, he's going to figure this out anyway. Yes, it means a lot to me.
The sex does, or I do?
If he's worried I'm already falling for him, he should be. You do. I want to be with you, and no one else. But I don't get a chance to finish telling him about my total lack of experience before he cuts me off with a kiss. As I drown in the way he makes love to my mouth, he tears off my cami and tugs away his boxers, tossing both to the floor. Then, somehow, he's between my spread legs, and the blunt head of his cock is butting impatiently against my slick folds. He lifts his lips, panting hard as he studies my face.
This means a lot to me, too. You mean everything. I want you to know that. You're worth whatever happens next.
I'm not sure what he means by that, but it makes me gooey. It makes me sound important to him, like he would move mountains and destroy obstacles to be with me. Rush.
What were you saying earlier?
He looks as if the moments it takes to wait for my answer are so protracted they're painful.
You're what?
Honestly, with him on top of me, moments away from making me his, I don't remember what I was going to say. And is there anything more important right now than him being inside me? I shake my head. Nothing. He groans and slides the head of his cock between my folds and settles at my opening. One good push, and... I remember. I pant. but he's speaking too through clenched teeth.
I need you so fucking bad, little girl. Take all of me.
Then he covers my lips with his, grips my hips, and pushes forward with a fierce, insistent thrust, plowing deep into my body. That one plunge lances my sensitive tissues with shock, pain, and awe. Rush!
Oh shit, you're a virgin?
He looks stunned.
Is that what you were going to tell me?
Numbly, I nod. Are you mad? His face softens.
God, no. Why would I be? You chose me.
I know he's not perfect, but right now he seems to be. I've only ever wanted you. And he has no idea I've felt that way since high school, when I first kissed him at the end of my disastrous prom date with Ridge.
Vanessa,
he grinds out before he lays his mouth over mine again. His kiss is gentle. He prods me slowly, experimentally. He's trembling. I feel the effort holding back costs him, and I love him all the more for it. Beneath him, I spread my legs wider, bending my knees, lifting my hips, making myself more vulnerable, offering more of myself to him. It's okay. I won't break. Rush gnashes his teeth, trying to resist.
If I'd known, I would have.
No, the only regret I have is that I waited this long to be with you. He breathes into me, tunneling deeper as he closes his eyes.
I fucking regret that too. Are you on the pill, little girl?
Being with Rush is so overwhelming I didn't think of anything that practical. No. And I know I should care very much, but right now I don't. Please don't leave. Please don't stop. He inches back, withdrawing almost completely. I whimper. Then he shoves his way back inside me even deeper than before. I'm shocked that he's actually harder, as if he's aroused by the idea that I'm not protected, that he could get me pregnant. I can't explain it, but I am too. He braces his elbows on either side of my head and stares down into my eyes.
We're being dangerous.
Rush says the words as he pulls back, then surges forward again and again and again. There's something so excruciatingly intimate about looking into his eyes while he penetrates my soul with his body. I don't care. A grin pulls at his lips.
I don't care either. In fact, I'm fucking happy about it.
I don't know why, but instinct tells me this isn't a game to him. I'm not a conquest. He means what he says, and hopefully this is the first time of many we'll be together. I smile back until he gathers my legs in his arms, lifting them up and against me by hooking my knees in the crooks of his elbows. Then he lunges forward. I'm even more open than before, less able to do anything except feel him plunge into the deepest parts of me as he sets a hard, driving rhythm that makes my nipples draw up and my sex ache. I tighten on him. He moans with an agony that rouses an answering flash low in my belly. Under him I writhe, I arch, I press fevered kisses to his broad shoulders and sink my teeth into the bulging muscle when he prods a spot that makes me gasp and sends me perilously close to climax. I can't help it. I tighten again. He pushes into me faster, more forcefully, with more determination and insistence. He's thickening and hardening. I feel so full of him I'm almost bursting. The friction makes me keen out loud until I can't breathe and my throat feels raw. Dizziness overwhelms me. His rhythm into me now is unrelenting. My bed shakes, my moans echo in the room. He curses, then grabs my hair in his fists. I see the naked need on his face, the unyielding demand that I give him my pleasure and surrender my heart. He doesn't have to say a word. It's all in his eyes.
Vanessa.
He growls my name like a command. Yes, I promise him as pleasure gathers from all corners of my body, now on fire, then burns hot and greedy between my legs. Yes.
I need you to fucking come, little girl, all over me. You know how. You read those books. Give it to me.
I can't fight him. His words are an inflexible order that calls forth my every instinct to please him and bury whatever resistance my untried heart has left. Then he pulls my legs up even higher, changing the angle of his thrusts. His every plunge inside plies me with friction, prods some sensitive spot that has me clawing, then stimulates my clit as he presses completely inside me. Rush, rush, rush! Then I'm screaming and shattering and coming apart at the seams for him. Teeth bared, he grunts with every rough, insistent crash into my body until he cries out, his back stiffens, and he closes his eyes in surrender to shuddering pleasure. I feel warmth splash inside me. Then he tilts me a bit higher, pressing even deeper until he's laying his mouth over mine again in a kiss full of reverence that makes me cry.
Little girl,
He thumbs at the tears rolling down my cheeks.
are you sad?
No. I punctuate my wobbling smile with a watery giggle. The opposite. I don't know when I've been this happy. He strokes my face and looks down into my eyes like I'm the wonder he's been waiting all his life for.
I already know I've never been this happy. You know this is just the beginning, right?
Of sex? He laughs.
Of that too, but I meant of us. I won't give you up.
I can't help but smile back. I'm so stupidly in love with him, and I'm sure it will take him time to reach this lovely, sublime place. But that's okay. I already know this is too good not to last. I was counting on that.
Rush. Life can't get much better. Sure, there's shit on the horizon. I need to find out who the fuck broke into Vanessa's place and why. I also need to tell her father we're together, no matter how much he might wish otherwise. She and I should also have some conversation about whether she's moving in with me or I'm moving in with her. I'm fine with either, but she needs to choose. I won't let this woman out of my sight or allow her to slip through my fingers. I curl my arm around her body, pressed soft and naked against me, her head resting on my shoulder. She's thrown her thigh over mine, and she's tracing patterns on my chest. It's only been a few minutes since I was inside her, but my interest and my cock are both rising fast. Taking her hand in mine, I lift it to my lips and kiss her palm. If you keep that up, you're going to get fucked again. Vanessa turns her face up to me with a kittenish smile.
Promise?
Once and you're already a glutton? I tease.
When it's that good, yes.
It was damn good. I sigh. But why didn't you tell me it was your first time? I would have been a lot gentler.
I meant to. And then you distracted me.
So it's my fault? I raise a brow at her.
At least a little. Come on, you touched me and my brain went to jello.
What did you expect? You flashed me. She winces.
I didn't mean to. I was so embarrassed.
Why? You looked beyond sexy. Besides, you couldn't have been too embarrassed since you kissed me first.
Well, we were just standing there staring at each other. I decided to do something about it.
I grin. If you hadn't, I was going to, once I managed to stop ogling you. I liked whatever that was you were wearing. She pressed a hand to her face with a grimace.
A cami? I didn't realize it was so thin. I might as well have been naked.
Exactly. Vanessa laughs at my response, and I love the sound of her happiness. Unfortunately, we have to get serious. Soon, but not yet. And speaking of first kiss, ours wasn't today. Horror spreads across her face.
You don't remember.
But I do. I never forgot, little girl. Her eyes widened.
Oh my gosh, that's what you called me after I kissed you that night. I just remembered. You thought I was a stupid kid, didn't you? Oh, I'm embarrassed all over again.
Did I kiss you like I thought you were a kid?
No,
she says breathlessly, like she remembers me seizing her delicate nape in my hand, surging into her mouth hungrily, and not letting her up for air until she was flushed and dazed. Not at all, I confirm. After you walked up to me in your sparkly pink prom dress and laid a wet one on me, I thought about doing a lot of other things to you, all of which I would have gone to jail for.
Really? You thought that? I was sure you were completely annoyed with me.
I was annoyed for you. Ridge is the one who got trashed and spent all evening hitting on your friend. He was being an asshole, and he deserved everything you dished out. I'll be honest. Not much has changed. Ransom, Rand, and I pile on him all the time, hoping he'll frickin' learn. But he's still crazy.
Well, I didn't appreciate his behavior, but going on a blind date to the prom was a bad idea. Kissing you in front of him was worse.
No. Ridge needed some payback, and if kissing me was the way to accomplish that. Vanessa bit her lip.
Actually, that isn't why I kissed you.
It's not. She shakes her head, then climbs on top of me to straddle my hips and lay her lips softly over mine.
You did something to me the first time I saw you. You opened the car door, and I pretty much forgot Ridge existed. I've always wondered if he flirted with Anna to get back at me, and when you opened the door after we got back, I just couldn't stop myself.
I kiss Vanessa again. I couldn't help it either. I wanted you even then. I still do.
But you never asked me out, or...
How old were you that night? 17?
Almost, but not quite.
I was 23, and I knew if I put my hands on you, I'd stop caring about your age. Besides, I was only home for a couple of weeks, then I shipped back out. It wouldn't have been right or fair to start something you weren't ready for, and then leave for months on end. She bit her lip.
I get it, but I'm not a teenager anymore. We've been working together for 7 months. I thought you just didn't remember me.
I wondered when she'd get around to this. I'll tell her that her father sent me to watch over her soon, but I won't have her thinking I'm this close to her for any reason other than the fact I'm dying to be. And I didn't think you remembered me. But since we've cleared that up, I'm impatient to give you everything you want. As I kiss my way up her neck before taking her lips again, a rosy flush of arousal stains her cheeks.
You already are.
No. Everything. I lean in and press my lips to her ear. I know what you read. I know what you crave. She rears back, her blue eyes turning startled and wide.
How?
To answer that, I have to tell her things I've put in the mental box marked later. She's not ready to hear that I've cased her house many times in the middle of the night to ensure her safety, and that I often perused her e-reader to satisfy my curiosity before settling in to watch her sleep. For now, I reach along the side of the bed until I find my pants. With a deep rumble of laughter, I fasten my hands around the buckle and pull my belt free. Before Vanessa can even guess my intent, I capture her wrists in my grip, wrap the leather around them, then secure her to her headboard. Her eyes widen even more. Yeah, she could probably wriggle free, but the way her eyes dilate, her lips part, and her nipples harden tells me she's aroused. Even better, her torso is now stretched above me, her gorgeous tits in my face. What do you think, little girl? Want to protest? I taunt as I lick her nipples, biting at one, then the other, loving the catch in her breath.
No.
Want me to stop?
No.
Good, I whisper before I take her nipple in my mouth. I wasn't going to. Vanessa groans and wriggles on me. She's fucking wet, and I can't resist. I slide my way up her body and align my cock against her pussy. Then I shove into her body as I push my way into her mouth. In this position, she's helpless to do anything except take whatever I give her. I'm conscious of a few things. First, she's still so tight, and she must be tender, so I'm insistent but not rough. Second, I'm still not wearing a condom. I have one in my pocket, but you know what? I don't want it. Am I unconsciously hoping she'll get pregnant so her father has less incentive to kill me? Maybe. But I also love the idea of starting a family with Vanessa. Everything is moving fast, but I've known how I feel for a while. Sounds like she has too. Third, this is really turning her on, and anything that flips her switch arouses the fuck out of me. I don't see a downside here. I grip her hips and rock in and out of her, every move tugging on her wrists, bouncing her breasts as she twists above me. Her eyes slide shut, her lips part. She melts for me. I want to stay here, just like this, for the rest of my life. Under her, I thrust up, a slow, steady rhythm that soon has her panting. I take a bobbing breast in my mouth and suck, swirling my tongue around her. Vanessa is every bit as sweet as she was the first time I made love to her, but she's hardly passive. Her hips rock and swivel as she rises on her knees, then falls back onto my cock in long, increasingly frantic strokes. Her hair falls around us like a cloud. As the sun begins to slant in, it lights her up. She looks like an angel, but she feels like a goddess. She's perfect, and when the fire brewing in my balls swells and gathers, I know I can't last. I've got to fix that. Fast. Stop, I command, gripping her hips to stay her.
Russ,
She whimpers. Do it, little girl. Reluctantly, she stills. Good. Now stand on your knees and rock your hips forward. She's breathing hard and looks like she's in pain, but she complies again. She really is a submissive little thing in the bedroom, and I'm going to have a shitload of fun with that later. But now, I have something beyond exciting to focus on. Her pussy inches from my face. With a hungry growl, I clasp her pert ass in my hands, then drag her up until her knees part around my ears. I swipe my tongue over her slick folds, then dip between them where she's syrup warm and all her secrets shimmer. She tastes like sponge sugar with a hint of tart. Fuck, I can't get enough of pure, musky female honey on my tongue, but I sure as hell try, sucking her clit, lapping and lashing and loving it like the animal she makes me.
Russ!
The way she cries my name, I know that's not a plea to stop. So I keep assailing her most sensitive, tender flesh until she's gasping, her back is arching, her thighs are trembling. Perfect. With one hand, I stroke my cock. With the other, I push her back down to it, angling it just right. Bend your knees. Take me again. Immediately, she pushes down and gets a pussy full of me. In return, she rewards me with another pink-cheeked whimper. Fuck, she's gorgeous, and she's about to come. I know it in the way she moves. I feel it in the way she tightens on me. I'm sure of it when she looks at me with heavy-lidded alarm, like the sensations are more than she knows how to handle. Vanessa, I grit out her name as desire undoes me. Give it to me, now. Because need has clawed past my restraint, and I can't hold back anymore. As she tosses her head back, arms tugging at my belt, she screams out in pleasure. I shuttle her up and down my cock as the lid blows off my restraint, and I let go inside her, shoving myself as deep as I can. And holy shit, this orgasm takes my breath, makes me dizzy. I fucking see stars. I feel my own heart pounding relentlessly for her, all to the soundtrack of her screaming my name. Oh, damn. Never mind moving in together. I mean, we will, like today, but I'm putting a ring on her finger the minute I find the right one. If she loves me, and I'm both marrying her and giving her babies, her old man can't off me. Right?
Oh my gosh, Russ.
Vanessa wilts, but the belt securing her wrists doesn't have enough give to allow her body to rest on mine. With desperate fingers, I unbuckle it. She comes tumbling down onto me, eyes wide and thankful, kissing me as she presses her bare breasts to my damp chest and closes her eyes with a sigh. We both want the comfort of closeness, so I roll her to her back and follow her over, pushing myself as far into her as I can while I nuzzle her neck. My life will never again be complete without her. I love you, Vanessa. And those are some scary as fuck words. I've never said them to any woman except my mother. When I lift my head, she blinks at me. Tears well in her eyes.
I love you too.
Oh, thank fuck. I'm not the only one whose heart is totally snared. Good. We're going to do something about that. She frowns.
Isn't that what we just did?
Besides sex. I'll move in here if you want. But after what happened yesterday, I'm thinking it's safer if you move in with me. Vanessa looks stunned.
Move in? Really?
Why is that such a surprise? Really? Do you want to keep living apart when we could be together all the time? It only takes her a few seconds to decide.
No, but Kitty Pie...
She makes you happy. Bring her. She smiles brightly.
All right, I will. I just hope you don't have leather furniture.
I do, but I'm not attached to it the way I am to Vanessa. We'll figure it out. Let's get cleaned up, grab some breakfast, then get you packed.
Today? You want me to move in, like, in the next few hours?
Why wait? Vanessa pauses, then nods.
You're right.
I'll start the shower.
I need to make a phone call, then I'll be right there.
Reluctantly, I pull away from her body, leaving the sanctuary of her sweet, cozy pussy. Then I drop a kiss on her lips and pad off to her ancient shower. That's another reason to move into my place. The bathroom is way bigger. A minute later, I step under the warm spray and start lathering my hair. And my brain starts working again. Who the hell would she need to call this early on a Saturday morning? Sure, she has friends at the hotel, but not close ones. She also doesn't have any siblings, cousins, or BFFs that I've heard about. Her mom passed years ago, and since my mother always wanted daughters, she'll love spoiling Vanessa. So I can only think of one person she'd want to talk to after making the momentous decision to move in with a man. Her father. Oh, fuck. I rinse the shampoo from my hair as quickly as I can, then grab the towel I found in the cabinet just before climbing into this claustrophobia-inducing box and wrap it around my body. Vanessa!
Chapter 6. Vanessa. As soon as Rush steps in the shower, I force myself to roll out of bed. The temptation to lie here on the sheets that smell like us and coax Rush into pleasuring me again is high, but we'll have time for that. Lots of it, starting tonight. My rent is paid up through the end of the month, so I have the luxury of moving out slowly. I only need to pack the essentials now, and my lease is up in a few months. But that's not my hesitation. It's Daddy. How will he feel when he finds out I have a boyfriend and it's serious? I have no illusions. He's got someone watching over me. He always does. It makes him feel better, and I've never minded because I know he only wants me to be safe. I've suspected for a while that he placed Mrs. Crafton across the street to keep tabs on me, just in case. The spy business is dangerous, and he's worried his life-or-death missions will spill over and put me at risk. Has Mrs. Crafton already told Daddy that Rush spent the night? The thought makes me wince. The news would go over better if it came from me. But since he didn't leave me a direct number to reach him, I can only call the emergency contact he made me promise I'd program into my phone before he left. Hopefully, whoever answers will relay the message that I want to speak to Daddy quickly. And maybe they can assure me that my father has simply been busy rather than captured, wounded, or worse. With trembling fingers, I reach for my device. I don't want to worry or startle my father, but I need to be honest. And now I'm just procrastinating. I fear he'll be somewhere between enraged and sad to learn that his little girl is a woman now who's found her own man. But I hope he'll understand, since Daddy wants me to be happy. Letting out a breath, I press the button. The phone rings in my ear. Seconds later, I hear another device ringing in the room, coming from the side of the bed where Rush shed his pants. It has to be a coincidence. Maybe it's the hotel calling him because there's a security problem and he'll have to report in to work. I expected this weekend to be rowdy. But what if the ringing phone isn't a coincidence? Frowning, I hang up and wait. The ringing peeling from Rush's pants pocket stops. So does my heart. Is it possible Rush works for Daddy? That he's the one sent to watch over me? I press the button again. The ringing across the room resumes. Like I'm on autopilot, I head straight for his pants and find the device. It's still ringing when I lift it. On my phone, I disconnect the call again. In my other hand, the ringing stops. That son of a bitch. All this time, I assumed Mrs. Crafton was my watchdog, an older version of my aunt, the grandmother figure I never had. But no. Daddy sent someone I've been crushing on, who I once kissed, who I work with. Or is his job at the hotel just a cover? It has to be. And I'm so furious. My father didn't just send someone reliable to guard me this time. He sent a spy like him, a master of disguises, cover stories, misdirection, mind games, and manipulation. Is any of what Rush and I have real? Or did he move into my bed and my heart to benefit whatever fucking op he's working on with Daddy?
Vanessa!
Rush shouts as he dashes out of the bathroom wrapped in nothing but a towel. Water drips off every hard, rigid muscle of his shoulders, chest, and abs, darkening his ink and adding a sheen to his golden skin that makes my belly clench. I shouldn't let myself be distracted by the gorgeous man candy. He's clearly learned to use his ripped body to seduce information from contacts and bamboozle wide-eyed idiots like me. Rush played me. I need to be angry about that, not wishing he'd drop the towel, take me in his arms, and make me feel good again while he assures me that he loves me. And what if I get pregnant?
We need to talk, little girl. I need to tell you.
That you work for my father? I spit, holding my phone in one hand and the burner phone I retrieved from Rush's pocket with the other. I figured that out.
It's not what you're thinking.
So you don't work for Daddy? He curses under his breath.
Listen to me.
So that's a yes. When were you going to tell me?
Did you call that phone?
He points to the burner. Answer my question first. When were you going to tell me that you work for my father?
Once we were settled and comfortable together.
Bullshit. I set the burner phone on the nightstand. Then I realize I'm naked. I feel too exposed, so I rustle around for my robe, then belt it tight around my middle. You didn't have sex with me because you want me or have feelings for me. You did it for the job, didn't you? Somehow deflowering me advanced your mission. I hope it wasn't too much of a hardship. When I turn to leave the room, he pulls me back.
That's not true. I love you.
My stupid heart wants to believe that, but I can't be swayed. I may not understand exactly how and why the game is played, but I know enough to know I'm in dangerous water. And Rush is the shark circling me, smelling blood. No, you're a spy, which also makes you a liar, a player, and an unreliable prick. Get out.
Vanessa.
He rushes after me.
Little girl, don't.
Now. I snatch up the burner phone and throw it at his chest. But of course it bounces off his solid flesh the way a quarter would bounce off those tight, tempting abs. Or I'm calling the police. I don't know if that threat will actually do anything, but the big boys usually leave the locals in the dark, and at the very least, the officers of the SAPD will put a monkey wrench in whatever Rush and Daddy have schemed.
All right.
He suddenly sounds very reasonable. I don't trust it.
I'll be out of your hair in 2 minutes.
Just like that, he's giving up on me. On us. Of course he is. There was never any us to start with. Good. I try not to cry. I'll probably love Rush forever. Or the idea of him, anyway. The man I thought he was. It will take me a while to mourn his loss. But this sex god in a skimpy white towel, no, I mean this asshole in front of me, I'll forget him in no time. Like I've already forgotten him. He's just a memory. I'm ready for the next man. And you called him a liar? Telling the voice in my head to shut up, I disappear into the powder bath with my clothes, toss them on, and emerge in time to find Rush completely dressed, keys in hand, looking both pissed and determined. But his dark eyes are still pleading with me.
This is a bad idea. Whatever you think is going on between us.
Nothing.
You're wrong. But besides that, someone broke into your place yesterday. I need to figure out what's happening, secure your cottage, and keep you safe.
Do your job, you mean? You can do it outside. I stomp down the hall and straight to the front door, pulling it wide open for Rush. He sighs as he walks out.
You're making a mistake. It's still dangerous.
If something happens, I'll call the police. They don't work their way inside my panties in the name of protecting me. Besides, if you've been watching me every moment of every day for the last 7 months, then I doubt you'll go far. Just forget what I look like naked. Rush grabs me by the nape and pulls me so close I can smell the scent of soap on his skin and see his long black lashes spiked from the shower spray. I get weak-kneed.
That is never going to happen. I'm going to fix this clusterfuck of a misunderstanding. By tonight, I'll be back in your bed, deep inside your body, little girl. You're not getting rid of me.
The low taunt of his voice twists my heart on its way down to my pussy and claws me with need. God, even knowing he deceived me, why can't I stop wanting him? Stubbornly, I press my mouth into a militant line, then give his chest a good shove. He stumbles onto the porch, giving me just enough time to lock the front door. And next time he comes knocking, I swear I'll have whipped up plenty of anger and fortitude so that I won't be the least bit tempted to let him in. As I stare through the peephole at him marching down my walkway, his brawny arms swinging and his long legs eating up the ground, as his fine ass moves with confidence, I'm not convinced this is a promise I can keep.
Rush. Well, that was an unmitigated disaster. Now what? 1,000 plans jet through my head, most of which are centered around winning Vanessa back. But first, I've got to do damage control. She doesn't know that the minute she called the burner phone her father shoved in my hand the day he left me her official protector, it sent a text to his device. Right now, Douglas Hartley thinks there's an emergency, and that Vanessa is in danger. That's not good. I need to call the man pronto and assure him that his daughter is alive and in one piece before he hunts me down, barking about his baby girl's safety, and tears my head off. Once he's calm, I'll break the news that I'm going to marry her, with or without his blessing. I'd better have bullets handy. Sighing, I tug the car keys from my pocket, then reach for my cell. I'm scrolling through my contacts as quickly as I can, but the fucking thing rings in my hand. Too late. Douglas, what the fuck is going on? I head for my car and try to find reassuring words. I'm drawing a blank because my brain has one track now. Vanessa. I'm fixated. No, obsessed. She can't get away from me. I won't let another man put his hands on her. I have to make things right between us. Nothing I can't handle. I slide into my car across the street from Vanessa's cottage, watching her. But she glares at me through the window, arms crossed over her chest. Yep, she's furious. I had strict orders not to tell anyone that my job at the hotel and my life in St. Augustine were a front. As soon as this mission is over, Douglas will assign me elsewhere, for God knows how long. I really hope it's not Russia. It sucks there this time of year. and I would be so far from Vanessa. On the other hand, she wants space now, and I can't completely piss her off. If I want to win her back, I shouldn't look like the stalker I've become. Sure, I was assigned to her for a good cause, but honestly, I love this part of my job. Douglas scoffs as I start my car. Then why did she call the emergency line twice this morning? I don't know, I say as I drive around the corner, then pull into the nearby park. Bullshit. I knew that answer wouldn't be good enough for Douglas, and if I don't come clean, he'll call her anyway. I sigh as I walk across the open space until I have eyes on Vanessa's place again. Someone broke into her cottage yesterday. I don't know who. He took nothing and left nothing behind. Come on, you fucking know who did this. I know who's responsible. Brian Russell is drug-distributing scum who's been using his job as the hotel manager, along with his connections at other resorts around the country, to facilitate his illegal activities. I don't know exactly who Russell sent to do his dirty work, and I don't know why he struck at Vanessa. Does he think she's on to his ruse, or is he trying to warn us away by silently threatening her? Either way, I won't fucking have it. My questions, too. Is she okay? Afraid? Fine. A little rattled, but where are you? At the park down the street from her place. Watching her? As always. Yes. Have you laid eyes on her recently? Actually, I laid a whole lot more of me on her than that, but if I admit that to Douglas now, he'll kill me the first chance he gets. 10 minutes ago. Okay, here's what I want you to do. Douglas Hartley outlines a strategy that's impossible, given the fact Vanessa isn't even speaking to me. I'm half listening when I see two men dressed in delivery uniforms, caps pulled low, approach Vanessa's cottage on foot. One heads straight for the front door and rings the bell. The other skirts the side of the house and disappears around the back. Fuck, I have to go. I pull my gun free and check to make sure it's loaded, cocked, and ready. I'll call you. Why? What's happening? He demands. We've got company. I end the call and take off running. I've got to reach Vanessa before these two. I can't let anything happen to her.
Chapter 7. Vanessa. When the doorbell rings a few minutes later, I'm still half-dressed and fuming. If Rush thinks that all he has to do to win me back is come knocking with some charming aw-shucks apology, I'll show him otherwise. With an angry purse of my lips, I stomp toward the front door and peek out the peephole. A delivery driver looking down at his clipboard. Not Rush. I'm more than vaguely disappointed. As I reach to unlock the front door, it occurs to me that I'm seeing a delivery man, but not a delivery truck. Then I hear a horrible metallic clang from my bedroom that sends my heart into overdrive. Someone is trying to get into my house. Shit! I back away from the door, my thoughts racing. If there's a bad guy in front and another in back, I'm trapped. Metal strikes metal again, this time louder. I hear a curse, then a squeak that tells me the curtain rod in the slider's door track is bending under the intruder's brute force. I need to do something now. Every second could be the difference between life and death. Why did I send Rush away? I race back to my bedroom. Through the slit in the curtain, I see a large boot braced on my patio and the door heaving on its frame as he tries to shove it open. I'm jittery. It's hard to breathe. This can't be happening. But it is. I find my phone discarded on the bed I was wrapped up in with Rush 30 short minutes ago, when life was so bright and full of hope. Then I dash around to my nightstand and withdraw my gun as the doorbell rings again. The supposed delivery driver adds an insistent rap, too. Phone in hand, I stare at my screen. Call Rush or 911. I know what Daddy would want me to do, but Rush is gone. I can't throw him out and then call him back to rescue me. Well, I probably can, but the thug at my back door gives another savage yank on the slider and pries it open enough to wedge his boot inside my bedroom. I've wondered squeamishly if I could shoot another human being. Time to find out. As he struggles to wedge his body through the narrow opening, the curtain rod groans under the pressure. I set my phone on the nightstand. Then I point my gun at his foot, wincing before I even pull the trigger, then shoot. After a deafening bang, he howls and curses. His foot disappears from the opening, and I wrap trembling fingers around the handle, trying desperately to shut the door again. Suddenly I'm grabbed from behind viciously by a hand in my hair and a hiss in my ear. He strips the gun from my trembling fingers and tosses it across the floor.
You should not have done that.
I'm glad I did. I also hope Mrs. Crafton heard the shot and called the police for me. If not, I don't want to think about that. What do you want?
To send your father a message to leave us the fuck alone.
If you kill me, he'll only come after you harder. And I suspect Rush will be every bit as relentless in hunting this animal down until he's nothing but a carcass and a stain. And Rush would only do that if he loves me. Horrible time to realize that he probably does, and I lost my temper unnecessarily. Damn it, I wish I had a do-over on the last hour of my life.
I'll take that chance.
The man growls. Then I feel something cold, hard, and cylindrical pressed to my temple. Oh, God, I gasp aloud. Every part of me shakes. This can't be how my life ends. I can't let it. Thank goodness Daddy made me take self-defense classes. Saying a silent prayer, I let go of all my weight and fall into him. While he's stumbling back, I ram my elbow into his stomach with all my might. He bellows and releases my hair, doubling over. Though he's still positioned between me and the door, I have a chance to get past him. But when I try, he catches me with a steely arm around my waist and scoops me up like a butterfly in a net. Then he stands and slams me back to my bed. As my back hits the mattress, my robe creeps up my thighs and gapes open to reveal the inner swells of my breasts and the cleavage in between. His pale eyes turn hot as they rake over my skin. He's old enough to be my father, and vaguely familiar. The creepy guy staring at me in the lobby yesterday. Don't touch me, I demand.
You're not calling the shots. I want a piece of your fine young ass before I blow out your brains.
He reaches for the hem of the robe.
Show me that pussy. If you make it good, I might let you live an extra 5 minutes.
No! I fight, but he's 10 times stronger and has gravity working in his favor. Then my robe is around my waist, and he spreads my legs with his thick thighs. Even though I thrash and struggle, he still contains my wrists in one of his hands and pins me to the bed. I feel the cold press of his gun, crushing the bones of my fingers with the butt. Then a feral smile stretches across his blunt face as he starts working at his fly.
I saw that guy you work with finally leave. Did he stay last night to fuck you?
The way he leers at me tells me the idea excites him.
Is your little hole sore?
You're disgusting. He laughs.
I'll make it even sorer. I'm going to tear you up. Douglas Hartley's little princess's last thought will be of her aching, violated pussy.
Suddenly he's yanked off of me and tossed across the room with a growl so low and guttural I'm not sure it's even human. Rush! He looks murderous as my assailant crashes against my dresser with a thud, then hits his head on the wall. But that doesn't stop the intruder from whipping his weapon up at Rush, pointing it right at his face. But Rush is faster, and his barrel is already pressed to the man's forehead.
I dare you to try it, Dunn.
The thug pales.
You're not a security guard. You work for Hartley, don't you? Oh yeah, he taught me most of what I know. And since he isn't here to kill you for touching Vanessa, I will.
I don't know what I'm expecting. Maybe something more like the movies where Rush extracts a confession from the bad guy about how they're conducting their nefarious activities and why, before the villain pleads for his life. Then the hero relents because he's the bigger man and the police take my attacker away once and for all. But that's not what happens. Rush just pulls the trigger. Blood and brains splatter all over my bedroom wall. I scream, then start to shake. Did that really just happen? Yes, and I feel like I'm going to throw up. Then Rush takes my chin in his hand and forces my gaze to his, pinning me with his stare.
Are you okay?
I give him a shaky nod. I think...
Did he hurt you?
No.
Good, stay here. Don't look at him.
I've barely registered the words when he releases me, then yanks the bent curtain rod from the slider's doorframe and charges out to my back patio, weapon drawn. I see a puddle of blood on the cement and hear cursing, followed by what sounds like Rush dragging the man whose foot I shot across the patio. Then he's back inside my bedroom.
There were no others, right?
Not that I know of. The murderous rage slides off his face, and he comes to a skidding stop on his knees in front of me.
I'm sorry, little girl. So sorry.
When he opens his arms, I launch myself into them, feeling safe and warm and grateful. He holds me close. Tears I don't want come. I'm still trembling uncontrollably. He gathers up my comforter and wraps it around me, cocooning me as he holds and soothes me, crooning to me like he would a child.
I'm here, and I'll never let anything happen to you, Vanessa. You're my everything, my world, the air I breathe, the heart beating in my chest. I'll always keep you safe. You know that, right?
I don't know much right now, but deep down I know that's true. Rush would move heaven and earth for me. Yes.
Good.
He peppers kisses on my cheeks as he cradles my face in his hands and stares into my eyes.
I know we had a fight, and I'm sorry I wasn't honest sooner, but I couldn't be. I wanted to be, but Brian Russell and his pal Harold Dunn have been using the hotel to distribute drugs and government secrets all across Southeast Florida and beyond.
Our manager, Brian Russell?
Yes.
If Dunn was inside with me, then is that whose foot I shot?
Yep, you did great. You kept him from hurting you and from running away. We've been on the cusp of catching them doing something illegal for weeks, but I couldn't tell you. I couldn't jeopardize the mission, and I didn't want to scare you. You're everything to me. Please believe me. I don't want to be without you.
I know, and I do. I feel that in the way he's holding me and staring into my eyes as if nothing else matters. You still love me. My earlier anger is gone. Only truth lies in its place.
I've loved you since I was 16. I can't stop.
I don't know how I'll handle being in love with a spy, but I grew up as the daughter of one. I guess I'll deal with it like I always have. One day at a time. A big smile creases his face.
I think I fell in love that night, too, with that pretty little girl in a pink prom dress. And I'm going to love you until the day I die.
Tears fall then. I'm not sure if it's the ebb of my adrenaline or the sincerity of his words, but I bury my face in his neck and cling to him. Rush brings me closer, his arms tightening around me as he rocks back and forth, doing his best to settle me.
What's going on here?
Barks a voice I'd know anywhere. I raise my head and look over Rush's shoulder. Daddy? He's standing in the threshold of my bedroom, dressed in head-to-toe black, clutching a gun and wearing a forbidding glower. You're back, I breathe as I scramble to my feet and right my robe. He takes in the scene, then his stare lands on Rush, who's already on his feet, hovering protectively beside me.
Sit rep.
Daddy snaps.
I put a bullet in Dunn's head after he threatened to rape and kill Vanessa. Good riddance.
Then he turns to me with a gentler expression.
You okay, baby?
Thanks to Rush. I take his hand in mine and squeeze.
Just before that, Vanessa shot Russell in the foot when he tried to break in through the slider back there.
Rush gestures with this thumb over his shoulder.
I zip-tied him to the post of the patio cover. Good, but I gathered that already. I meant you two.
Daddy points to us.
You're in love?
Yes. I clutch Rush's hand even tighter.
Garrison?
Beside me, Rush tenses.
Yes, sir. You're in love with my daughter? Yes, sir. And I know you told me never to touch her, but you did. I heard something about unauthorized sexual contact. Explain.
Daddy! I'm mortified. Stop! I love him!
I know. I heard you the first time, baby. Right now, I'm talking to him.
He points at Rush.
What do you have to say? Vanessa is mine in every way, and I don't regret a thing. She may even now be pregnant. I didn't do a damn thing to prevent it because I intend to marry her if she'll have me. I don't need your consent, sir, but I'd like it.
Daddy is quiet for a long, almost painful moment. Rush is nervous. I can tell when he slips an arm around me and brings me closer, like he's afraid I'll slip away. And I'm holding my breath, wondering what my father will say.
So you're taking full responsibility for her?
Rush nods.
For the rest of my life.
Suddenly, a big smile breaks out across Daddy's face.
It's about damn time. What?
Rush explodes in a surge of breath. Daddy's smile becomes a laugh.
After that prom, I knew Vanessa was in love with you. She talked about you all the time, for years. She kept tabs on you through friends and social media, just like a good spy.
He winks.
When you were first promoted up to my team, I put you through hell to see what you were made of, to see if you were good enough for my daughter. Then I put you in charge of protecting her, and I watched you. Honestly, I didn't think you'd last a single day without putting your hands on her.
If there's a word to describe being more than mortified, I'm that right now. Daddy!
7 months, sir.
Rush growls.
7 long, agonizing months, and you're telling me all this time you not only approved, but you wanted me to be with Vanessa?
He shrugs.
I'm not going to live forever. Hell, I'm probably already too old for spy games now, but the idea of teaching recruits gives me hives, and I'm not quite ready to quit doing what I love. Besides, it's possible younger and stronger will get the jump on me first. I'll go out in a blaze of glory, in service to my country and all that good stuff. But either way, I wanted to make sure Vanessa was in good hands first.
Daddy! I rush to his side and hug him. He's never been a physically affectionate person, but I know he loves me, and I don't want to think of life without him. He kisses the top of my head. Then I turn to see my father and my boyfriend share a glance. They understand each other.
You have my consent and my blessing,
Daddy says.
But if she could be pregnant, make it fast.
Rush approaches and pulls me into his embrace before he escorts me into the living room, where Kitty Pie pokes her head out from under the sofa with wide, startled eyes and a hiss before disappearing again. Poor baby. I'll soothe her with milk and treats later. Then I'm only thinking about Rush. He sits me on the sofa and kneels in front of me, taking my hands. I sense Daddy hovering at the edge of the room. I can't see him exactly, but I know he's there. Isn't that a metaphor for most of my life? Rush swallows.
This isn't how I wanted to ask you, little girl. I wanted to feed you an amazing dinner and take you someplace romantic, maybe the beach, and find the right words to...
Yes! Tears fill my eyes. If you're asking me to marry you, the answer is yes.
Really?
I nod. I'd love nothing more. How soon can we get married? My father is already on his phone.
There's a flight to Vegas this evening. I've got a cleanup crew coming. They'll haul Dunn's body away and put Russell in custody. Then you can pack a quick bag and be married by tonight.
I don't have a dress or a venue. I haven't selected flowers, music, or cake. I haven't told any of my friends. I don't even have a ring. But does any of that matter more than having my father walk me down the aisle to marry the love of my life? I like it.
I love it.
Rush lifts my hands to his mouth, kissing my fingers before he brushes his lips across mine.
I have to call my family, but I'm sure they'll come.
I feel the restraint in his touch. He wants to devour me, but he's aware of my father standing and watchful nearby. Daddy taps his screen a few more times, then smiles.
Booked. We need to be at the airport in 6 hours. I'll pack your things for you so you don't have to go into your bedroom. We'll move you out when we get back, and...
Rush sighs.
I'm not thinking straight. You need a ring, now. I want to put one on your finger this morning.
The look on his face tells me he wants to make love to me, too. I tingle in anticipation just thinking about it. But my father is mere feet away. When I look up to offer some feeble excuse about why Rush and I need to be alone before the wedding, Daddy is already gone, and my fiancé is already pressing his lips to mine hungrily, as if he'll never get enough. I sigh into his kiss, feeling so glad because I never will either.
This concludes Seduced by the Spy by Shayla Black. Narrated by Jason Clark. Copyright 2021 by Shelley Bradley, LLC. This unabridged audiobook is published by arrangement with Shelley Bradley, LLC, care of the Wayland Agency, Limited, and was produced in the year 2022 by Tantor Media, Incorporated, a division of Recorded Books, which holds the copyright thereto. Please visit Tantor.com for more information on our growing library of unabridged audiobooks.